Hi, this is Rob Wagoner, and today I wanted to talk about NIC teaming. NIC teaming is one of those issues that have had a lot of discussion lately, and I'm a believe it when you see it kind of guy, so I wanted to take a few minutes and walk through NIC teaming. What do we support? How does it work? Things like that. So the machine we're connected to is my Dell Precision 490, and I have two Intel Pro dual port NICs plugged into that machine. So I have a total of 4 ports out of these two DICs. As you can see, NIC 1 top and NIC 2 top are plugged in and active. NIC 2 bottom and NIC 1 bottom are both unplugged. What I'm going to do today is actually team the top 2 ports of each of those NICs. And I do that just by bringing up properties. I've already installed the Intel drivers for these NICs. So as we bring up the properties page, you'll see a few more tabs here than customary. So what we'll do is flip over to the teaming tab, and this is where we create our NIC teams. Yes, I want to team this adapter with other adapters, and then create a new team. Since I'm creating a team of the two top ports, I'm going to name it top. And then I pick my two NICs. So of course it picks the NIC I'm already on. I pick up the other NIC, which happens to be NIC number 1 for each of the connections. And then it asks me what type of team I want to create. So I could do the adaptive fault tolerance, which just says use one NIC until it fails and then fail over to the other one. Or I can do adaptive load balancing. So I'm going to choose adaptive load balancing. And down here we get a little instruction on adaptive load balancing. So we can scroll down into the notes on adaptive load balancing, and the one thing it tells us farther down is receive load balancing is not supported in Hyper-V. So we can move down here and you will see it's made note of right there. So after we set this up, we have to go disable receive load balancing, or Hyper-V won't let us use this NIC for our virtual machines. Remember that we've talked about NIC teaming is supported for host I/O or for virtual machine I/O, but not for iSCSI I/O. So if you're using iSCSI devices and you want to have multiple network ports connected to your iSCSI devices, that's what MPIO is used for in NIC teaming. Now that we've got our team set up, we need to go make sure that our receive load balancing is disabled. And so we'll just go make that change here and say OK. So that's all there is to setting up a network team. Wasn't really hard. The drivers are vendor specific, okay? So these are Intel drivers we're using to team these two network cards. So I can hit OK here, and we're done. And as you see, we have a new local area connection, and the device name is Team Top. Now we'll move over to the Hyper-V Manager, and we can go in and configure our virtual network manager. Right now it's set to my Realtek card, and when I choose to change it, as you can see, it shows these two adapters are teamed. I can't choose either one of those of the team. I have to go down here and choose the team itself. It also shows the other two Intel adapters in the event I want to use those. I'll go ahead and choose the team and then hit apply. And we see the customary applying changes. And then we can go ahead and say OK. So now we've got this virtual machine that's up and running. We changed our network setting to the NIC team. And when we move over to the virtual machine itself, we'll see that it can see all the other machines it's managing. And when we do an IP config, we get an IP address. I can ping my default gateway. So from the virtual machine's perspective, if it doesn't know it has teamed NICs, it just knows that it still has network I/O like it needs it. So we've got the redundancy of multiple network cards now, multiple network ports, supporting our virtual machines. So we've talked about NIC teaming. Where can you use it? Where should you use MPIO for iSCSI traffic? We've looked at how easy it is to configure NIC teaming for a Hyper-V host. The guest VMs are totally oblivious to the teamed NICs because it's just the hardware redundancy that we've configured from the host, but fully supported in a Hyper-V environment. Now, the thing I want to point out is our support policy on teamed NICs. I've included it in this blog entry. The NIC teaming software is supported by the OEM. Intel is my provider for this example. So if there's a teaming issue, Microsoft will work with Intel to make sure we can resolve the problem for our customer. But this is how we can use teaming in Hyper-V. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you have a good day.